Hello, and welcome to Fur Talk Podcast, episode number 11. I am Ralleign Siston.
Oh, I'm going first.
Yeah?
I am Pot of Greed.
And I am Blake Foxx, the only person who always says their name fucking right.
Hey, I said my name right. Well, okay, maybe I didn't last episode, but...
Excuse me, Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca.
Okay, but yeah.
Okay,
I
so
also like
hold on. Before we start, I do want to take the opportunity, since we're only like a minute in. Okay, people listening, I want you to leave comments about how the audio sounds, because I just want to make sure that everything audio-wise is working right, and I can only do so much from my end. I need to like get feedback on the audio. Anyways, with that, let us move forward.
Wait, what's this about the audio suddenly?
I was just thinking about it earlier that, like, you know, we can only do so much on our end with the audio without knowing how it sounds to other people.
Fair point.
So, like, I need them to know, like, is it too low? Is it too loud? Is anything need fixed or messed with?
Hey, Mizu or the Pot of Greed should become louder.
Well, there's nothing we can do because the microphone fucking hates you, so...
It's because he sits so far away from it.
Well, it's also, he naturally talks low, too.
I'm very quiet.
Like, even whenever he's right next to the microphone, it's still not as loud as us when we're next to the microphone.
I'm always whispering.
But anyways...
Let me whisper in your ear. Anyways, you were saying?
So I like how we can't get through, like, a single intro without fucking up at some point.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so much fun, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be kind of boring if we were always doing the exact same scripted intro every time.
I like to keep a level of amateurism to us.
I like to just do whatever the fuck, and we'll just see what happens, man.
Good
the
point.
Spaghetti will eventually stick to the wall.
Even if we have to throw a bunch of uncooked sticks of spaghetti at the wall.
Why is spaghetti supposed to be sticking to the wall? That's a waste of food. We have thousands of hungry people. I could probably have that spaghetti.
Have you ever cooked spaghetti? Okay, let me ask this
You're asking the person that made a spaghetti that one time if they've ever made spaghetti.
Let me ask this a different way. Have you ever consulted a cookbook on how to cook spaghetti?
No, because I've never needed to.
Okay, so...
But yes, I know the whole sticking spaghetti to a wall trick.
Okay.
Okay, well, there's a common expression that's like, you know, throw it to the wall and see what sticks or whatever.
I thought that was throwing paint at a wall or shit at a wall and seeing if it sticks.
No.
Okay, you have a really weird upbringing.
But, yeah, like, the basic idea is, like, the same thing with spaghetti, like, where if it sticks, it's done. But anyways, that's not important. We just got sidetracked over, like, a weird semantics conversation.
What is important is that it's been over a month since we last recorded a podcast, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to like keep this a weekly podcast or switch it to a monthly podcast, but
weekly podcast.
Yeah, weekly podcast seems to make more sense.
We can do weekly to bi-weekly. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're gonna do either, because I was kind of considering doing a switch with the podcast a little bit and doing more visual editing. Like we used to do, like when, you know, I used to spend like literally like 8 straight hours editing the podcast because I had to do so much visual stuff, and then just kind of doing them when they were done. But also at the same time, I'm kind of thinking I still want to do them weekly. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've got to consider because I don't really know what exactly I want to do anymore, because it's been so long and I've been so far removed from everything at this point.
But yeah, things have been things lately.
Wow,
I guess.
So insightful.
Mizu finally fucking quit his job.
Woo!
And now we're like transitioning him over to another job that isn't going to suck.
Hopefully.
So...
In the meantime, I'm hoping to do a bunch of video editing. And videos.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more of the Pokemon episodes because we only got one so far.
You mean episode 2?
Yeah. If you do the Pokemon one, I'm probably going to take the first one down and then re-upload it with the other ones after you're done. But I want to actually start commissioning like thumbnails for our videos instead of trying to make thumbnails all the time, because God, that's such a fucking pain in the ass.
No, yeah,
It'd be so much easier to do that. Although the first thing I want to do is actually get a podcast like background made, and then I'll also use it as a thumbnail. And I'm wondering if we can find somebody that'd be willing to like put it on first priority and like try to do it like in a week or something.
Yeah, I can talk to that one guy I've been mentioning a few times off camera.
You think so? Like, do you think they'll be able to do it that fast though? That'd be my main concern. I'd want it done quickly.
I'm fairly certain he can.
We gotta figure out what we want too, because that's gonna probably be a huge factor.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for the first one, we can just do something simple where it's like the three of us sitting around a table with like our respective drinks. You can have whatever that beer is, and I'll have an alcohol drink. And then
Mizu will have a cup full of Mountain Dew.
And then Mizu will just have like a little juice box.
I think I'd rather prefer to have a coffee in these things.
Okay.
As soon as I'm finished with these summer shandies, I am not buying any more.
Okay, yeah.
Not a big fan?
No, I am a big fan, and that's what worries me.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, like, I think we can just do a simple one this time. We'll just have a, like, microphone in the middle of a table. You'll have, like, a coffee. I'll have, like, this. And then he can have, like, a little juice box.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I forgot. I was gonna buy those big giant lollipops. Like, a couple of them while they were 70% off.
Oh, yeah?
And then save them because I have a feeling giant lollipops would have great video use later in the future.
Yeah. I also need to get that one cake I've been mentioning a few times from Dairy Queen.
Giant lollipops having a use in the future.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen the giant oversized lollipops?
Yeah, but I'm not sure I get what the use would be for.
I don't know. They're comically oversized. We will find a use for them.
Will we now? Maybe.
They're like gonna be like 12 cents, so who cares? Even if we're wrong, we got a fucking lollipop to eat. There's no losing. It's a win-win. It's one of those
props that's like so inherently funny that like you just gotta get it just in case you need to use it at some point, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know what we'd use it for, but like the first thing that comes to mind is the classic joke with the little like cap and like the big lollipop and like the tricycle or whatever.
Tricycle, the giant ass lollipop and the hat with a little helicopter fan on the top.
That's what comes to mind first, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential uses for
a giant lollipop.
A giant lollipop, yeah. We represent the Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild.
What? What? What's the Lollipop Guild?
Oh, what is that? Is that Wizard of Oz?
That is Wizard of Oz.
It's been a while, but I just vaguely remember that being a thing.
I don't remember that part in the movie.
It's like at the very beginning, isn't it?
When she like first arrives at Oz, like once the Munchkins are like starting to warm up to her, they realize that she's like they realize that she's the one that killed the Wicked Witch of the East, and so like they pretty much like welcome her to Munchkin Land, and like among that they sing like a song.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yep. No, that's the ending song.
Damn.
But yeah, they like do this whole song number, and like two of the parts in the number is like a bunch of female Munchkins welcoming her on behalf of the Lullaby Guild, and the other half being a bunch of male Munchkins acting like those like 50s tough guy type bullshit thing, welcoming her on behalf of the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah, that's a thing. That happens. It does, in fact. Veering completely into another subject. Did I tell you guys about the time that I was in horrible agony for like a week and a half straight?
No. You didn't have to tell me. I knew.
No, you didn't.
So like, I guess how it started was that the feeling I got in my tooth was too close to the nerve, but then that got infected, so like my face got all swelled up, and it was just pure agony, and none of the painkillers that the dentist was prescribing were working. But eventually I got some like antibiotics, and like I did a root canal thing, and it fucking sucks. It was terrible. God, that sucked.
Never again.
0 out of 10 would not recommend. Man, it's been so long since we've done these that I'm like finding that it's a lot harder than it used to be to like think of what to say anymore.
Ripperoni.
Yeah.
We gotta get back into practice, man. Back into the swing of it.
Well, I mean, like...
How does one swing into it?
Who fucking cares?
Let's see,
These are questions I feel like need to be answered.
Well, you'll never get answers because the universe fucking hates you.
Well, in terms of games I've been playing, like, I don't know, my default like go-to thing is games I've been playing, but I don't know, I haven't been playing a whole lot of games. I've been playing Uncharted 4 a bunch, but that's mostly just for like getting footage. So that you can make terrible memes.
Yes.
Memes.
One I'll probably just like show at the end of this podcast or something.
Yeah.
I also made another meme, which is my background, which...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. This, I will like put it in, like no one say what it is, I will just put it in visuals like right here in the podcast.
Put in the visuals! Show it now.
But yes, so that's the thing that I made as well. Other than that, I've just been kind of playing through the Metal Gear series again.
There's nothing wrong with playing through the Metal Gear series again. I was supposed to talk about Silent Hill at some point, but whatever, it's not important anymore. It's been too long.
And then I got a bunch of other games like on my wish list at the moment, like just games that I want to play at some point in time soon. I've just kind of been scoping out games, thinking about like what ones I want to play. There's this action RPG I've heard about that's like on the Xbone and Steam called Shyness or something. And like I've heard that apparently that one's really good.
I want to play the game. I don't even know if it's out yet, but with the mouse that uses sign language.
The mouse that uses sign language?
Yeah, he doesn't talk, and it's supposed to like, it's like an adventure game, but the mouse like speaks in sign language instead of talking.
Well, this is news to me.
Yeah. I can't remember how they wound up going with that direction, but the game actually looks decent, and the whole sign language thing has me slightly interested, but I've only seen like videos, like little things about it here and there on like Facebook. I have no idea.
Is it a point and click adventure game?
No, it's like it's like a platformer actually. But I'm not 100% sure.
Let's see, and then other games that I have on my wish list at the moment. I'm looking to get Quake. Some of the classic Unreal games.
I want to still get a point and click adventure game, man. I was watching Danny Sexbang play the Space Quest, and that made me be like, I kind of want to play one of these games. They're pretty chill, even though they're bullshit.
Oh god, the Sierra point and click adventure games.
He wasn't even playing the point and click adventure games. He was playing the Sierra type words and hope it's the correct like sentence structure for what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
Adventure games.
Graphic text-based adventure games.
Grab rock. No. Pick up rock. There you go.
Yeah. Climb out of bed. You don't know how to climb out of bed. Get out of bed. You can't get the bed. Move south. You climb out of bed and move south. But I think another game like I got a few other games on my wish list. I'm also looking to get the original Max Payne, and maybe Max Payne 2 and 3.
And 4 and 5.
There's 6, only 3. There's
7,
only 3.
And 8.
There's only 3.
And 10.
And 36. It got stale for a while, but they pulled it back around at the 36th installment. I can't wait for nobody to hear my little like fucking remark that made everyone laugh.
Funny enough, like that's I think it actually does pick up your stuff from over there.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not.
Way over there!
This one's gonna taste awful because it's like 90% of the apple stuff.
90% of the apple stuff.
Cause none of my stuff is cold yet. I should have waited for the ice cubes to freeze. Oh well, there's no time for regretty when we're talking about spaghetti.
We were never talking about spaghetti.
Yeah, we were. We were talking about spaghetti earlier.
We weren't talking about it just now, though.
But we were earlier.
That's not how this works.
I win this argument.
We were talking about it early. We weren't talking about it now.
You can't move the goalpost on me.
I feel like I can. When we were nowhere near the goalpost.
Okay, so... Hold on, let my brain put together some thoughts so that this conversation can continue, because we haven't even hit 20 minutes yet. So I decided to go to the library and actually get a library card. So now I have one of those again, like normal people. And I checked books. Who reads books these days? But anyways, I decided, since I had the library card, that I was going to check out Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules to Live by Antidote to Chaos, or whatever the fucking bullshit name is. And so it had 40 people put it on hold. So needless to say, it was a little not available.
He's not getting it for like the next 4 months.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. I put it on hold too, but it's going to be a while before I can read it. Which I guess that gives The Amazing Atheist time to write his counter-response book that he's working on before, and then I can read them both together. But anyway, because that was the case, I decided to get a book called The Hero and the Crown, which was written by Robert Kinley, I believe. And it was a book that I read like back in middle school, and it was just like a fantasy book about this girl who like fucking wrecks a dragon and like gets a cool blue sword. And I decided to like revisit it because I was curious to see if it was as good as I remember it being. I'm halfway through the book, and so far I would say that I have mixed feelings, but it's starting to get really good.
That's good.
Yeah, like she's finally like doing stuff instead of thinking about doing stuff. Which she spent like the first half of the book like brooding a lot. But now she's like killed a couple of these little tiny dragons, and I'm pretty sure it's gearing up into whatever the actual plot of the story is going to be, which has something to do with the hero's crown thing. Because they said all the bullshit going on up in the north has something to do with the fact they lost this crown. And I don't know how you lose a magic crown that wards off bad shit, but they managed.
I feel like a giant dragon has it.
No, I don't think so. I have vague memories of it, and I think the dragon and the crown are either loosely related or not related at all. But anyways...
And while you were reading that book, I was reading this other book that I got called His Majesty's Dragon. It's like the first in the Temeraire series, but I haven't even gotten like a single chapter in because I keep losing focus.
He's losing focus. He can't zero in. He can't visualize it. He can't see the truth. I mean...
You can't handle the truth.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, if you're trying to read a book and you can't read the book because you can't care enough to focus on the book, maybe it's time to try a different book.
I think it's probably just because I keep reading my book with my phone right next, like, because I'm only reading my book on like breaks at work, and I'm reading it with my phone right next to me, and every time I pick up the book, I'm just thinking, I can be browsing TV tropes right now.
I feel like that's the part where you put the phone in the pocket and you don't think about the phone.
Or you could just start reading the book here.
That's also a good point.
I read like a good 20 or so pages here instead of at work.
I can't read my book at work.
I'm really kind of curious to read The Blue Sword again, but I have to finish The Hero and the Crown before I can read The Blue Sword. And then after that, I'm torn. like, on one hand, I'm thinking I could start reading the Dark Tower books, or I can revisit Harry Potter as an adult.
You know, I've never actually read the Harry Potter books. I've seen the movies, and I remember
I got to the 5th book. I finished the 5th book. I read like a chapter of the 6th book, and the writing style from the 5th book to the 6th book is like day to night shift. Wow. Like, the writing style is drastically different in the 6th book, and I just, like, I remember I was like trying to read it, and I was like, I can't stand this, and then I stopped.
Well, then again, I remember J.K. Rowling, like,
I think it's because I think it's just because they took such a darker tone towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the writing style changed so much in the 6th book, but I'm not sure. Anyways, you were saying.
But yeah, like I've seen all the movies, and like my mom had this whole tradition where every time before we'd see a movie, like we'd read the books first.
We'd watch the books.
Yeah, we'd just stare at the books until the movie came out.
This is as fun as watching paint dry.
I thought you were just doing like Chuck Norris and you stared at the books until it gave you the information you wanted.
But yeah, like, so we read the books, but I don't remember, like, I literally don't remember anything about the books except for the fact that Hermione turns into a cat in one of them.
I remember a little bit about the Order of the Phoenix, and that's pretty much the only one that I remember anything about. And I don't even remember that much about it other than Harry had a boner for some girl that I think he met in the 4th book, actually. But then she, like, wound up at Hogwarts in the 5th book. I don't remember the specifics.
It's been a long time, apparently.
But yeah, he had, like, a boner for some girl that wasn't Ron's sister. A different girl.
Hold on, I think I remember this girl. I think she made an appearance in the movies.
She probably did, because she was important to the plot of the 5th one, I think. Because he does the whole Dumbledore's army thing, and like his main reason for doing it is Voldemort and all that, but he's also secretly kind of doing it to be like, look how cool I am. Like, that's also part of his motivation, if I remember correctly, but it's been a really long time since I've read those books. But anyways, I was curious, like, to go back and read those as an adult, because I wonder how well the Harry Potter books read whenever you're not 12.
That is a good question. On that note, have you ever read Harry Potter and the Portrait of What Looked Vaguely Like a Pile of Ash?
I have heard people read it aloud, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
What?
Ron was wearing his... What is it?
Ron's Ron shirt was just as bad as Ron himself.
That's
Ron's Ron shirt.
Yes.
And Harry ripped... What is it? He ripped his eyes out and tossed him into the forest?
Yeah.
What?
Basically, it was a Harry Potter... It was basically like... What they did was they took... You know those predictive text keyboards that you have on, like, phones and stuff, right?
Yep.
What they did was they essentially, like, pretty much had that, like, they took the phone and, like, programmed it so that it was like they typed up all 7 books, like, on the phone, so that, like, the predictive keyboard was, like, geared up to the books, essentially.
Okay.
Because you know, like, how if you type, like, a certain phrase a bunch, like, predictive text will like continue suggesting that phrase that you keep typing.
Yep.
It's basically like that, but they used it to type in quotations, like they didn't actually type in all the books, but you know, they programmed it like they typed in all the books, and then basically just like kept hitting the next word button on that until it typed up a whole book.
Yeah.
And the result was hilarious.
Yeah, it was definitely hilarious. My favorite part's when the 2 Death Eaters, like, confess their love to one another.
Yeah. And then everyone politely claps.
Yeah.
Please clap.
And then what is it? Who is it? Ron or is it Harry who eats Hermione's family?
It was Ron.
He eats her family.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a thing I'm going to have to show you once we're done with the podcast.
And then, like, they're like, we're the main characters or something.
Who are the only ones that matter? They're never going to get rid of us.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What?
Oh my god. Ron threw his wand Voldemort. Ron politely retrieves his wand. Isn't that one like immediately follows it as he like goes and gets his wand?
Yeah, he just like slowly picks up his wand.
Did you see where somebody animated that chapter?
Shit, I need that.
Oh, God. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, somebody animated that chapter, and it's probably the funniest thing.
Ha! Take this. Wait, I need that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ron's the handsome one.
Oh man, that's some good stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So, oh, I know. So, how do you feel about Bleach so far?
Ooh.
I like it.
You like it so far?
So far, like it's a pretty cliche anime, but like this was like I remember this was made like back in what the late 80s, early 90s.
No,
this is like early
Bleach
2000s.
is like Bleach is early 2000s.
Like Naruto.
Yeah, it's like Naruto.
Yeah.
What is it? It was One Piece,
Wow.
Naruto, and Bleach were like the three big anime at the time.
I fucked that up really bad, but point still stands. It was like early enough in anime's life cycle that like this stuff wasn't cliche yet.
Yeah, I mean a little bit of it was. I mean he has like the whole Goku problem.
Yeah.
Which I mean you haven't gotten far enough yet to really see what I'm talking about.
How bad he gets.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of an impression of that though so far.
He doesn't have as much power as Goku, but in terms of the making all of everyone around you irrelevant thing, he's probably
really good
worse. He's probably worse.
Oh boy. Can't wait for that. But yeah, so far the show's being alright so far. It's got a bunch of like interesting characters.
Yeah, so we haven't really touched into the plot. I mean, you just got to the part where they're about to enter the Serite. So like I want to ask you stuff about like what you think of the plot, but we haven't really gotten to the plot yet. I mean, I guess we got a little tease of the plot because you saw with Geen at the end when he was at that meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually gotten to because there's going to be a little bit of a mystery that's going to go on throughout their time in the Serite.
Oh boy.
And I guess I get to have the fun of seeing whether or not you can like figure out what actually happened.
Oh boy. I love mystery. I love a good mystery.
Yeah, it's actually like a pretty well done mystery too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're in the middle. Like once they enter the Serite, it's Battle Fest. But the only thing going on between Battle Fest is this mystery. You'll see like little hints and clues and stuff. All the while, Ichigo and his friends are like just fighting everybody all the time.
It's like a normally like story-driven game, but then you suddenly get to a point where like you're having non-stop battles. But like between waves of enemies, you can stop and find like these like vague notes written on the ground.
But yeah.
And then after the end of all the battles, the game's like, okay, can you figure out this mystery that we've been hinting at? And you're just like, what?
Yeah, this arc that we just started, it's probably one of the best anime arcs that was ever done. One of the best, I would say, not the best, but like one of the best as far as like typical shonens go, because it blends everything that's trying to do like pretty perfectly. The only thing that sucks is once we get to the end of this arc, it's kind of downhill from there. We have to get to the end of the arc that follows, or well, not the arc that follows because the next arc sucks and we're going to skip it, but the arc after that arc we have to get to the end of, just because that kind of wraps up all of the loose plot threads of the first arc.
I guess I can give my opinion on season 1 so far anyway, or you know, the entirety of season 1 because I've just finished season 1.
Yeah,
but like, it's cool, I guess. See, I guess what I want to say is that, like, it's better than Yu Yu Hakusho.
You think so?
Yu Yu Hakusho, like, it's a good shonen anime. The problem is, like, the problem is I can easily compare that to Bleach and, like, say where Bleach does it well, where Yu Yu Hakusho fails. because like Bleach in the beginning, it does like do this whole setup where it's like easing you into this whole story of the Soul Society and like Soul Reapers and stuff, as well as introducing all the characters. But like from the get-go, it already tells you what kind of anime this is going to be, with like high-octane action and battles and stuff.
That's fair.
And whereas Yu Yu Hakusho like starts off easing you into this whole idea of souls and stuff, but like it starts off trying to sound looking like it's going to be an anime about Yusuke trying to redeem himself, but then he redeems himself by episode 5, and then it suddenly becomes a shonen anime.
Yeah, well, I mean, even then, at first it's more of like a detective thing with a little bit of fighting. It doesn't like go full shonen until the Dark Tournament arc, which is right where you stopped.
Yeah.
We want to pick that back up at some point because the Dark Tournament arc is fucking awesome, but yeah, I can see what you're saying as far as the beginnings are, because Yu Yu Hakusho is like a little clunky and slow to start. I would give you that much. Where Bleach kind of gets where it needs to be. It gets where it needs to be pretty early on.
As long as we're not about the filler.
But I think the difference is that Yu Yu Hakusho didn't necessarily know what it was going to be right away.
That is a good point.
I don't think it, like, whenever they first started it, they had, like, a clear idea of exactly what direction it was going. Whereas I'm pretty sure Bleach, right from the beginning, they kind of knew exactly what Bleach was going to be.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you want to see Yu Yu Hakusho kind of, I guess all of the elements that were in Yu Yu Hakusho done in a different way but better would probably be Hunter x Hunter.
That is a good point, yeah.
Because it was made by the same guy, but it has a lot of like the same kind of ideas in it. Just it's more polished. And obviously the characters that you follow are much younger than in Yu Yu Hakusho. I sure hope people enjoy us talking like we know what the fuck we're talking about. Don't take us too seriously. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about half the time. We're just doing our best to interpret the world around us. That's all.
No, that's kind of how we always do this sort of thing. We're just kind of talking by the seat of our pants here.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like it that way, though. Yeah. Like, I guess technically it would probably work better if we had like some kind of official structure, but I kind of like the whole...
This feels less artificial, you know?
I like the kind of casual conversation approach.
Yes.
As opposed to like having segments and structures and like mapping everything out. We don't even have like a consistent time that these last.
Yeah, just like an hour. That's like the baseline, and then after that we just kind of go until we're done.
Yeah, more or less. I wish speaking of animes, I wish Detective Conan would finish the rest of the episodes in English, but I don't think it's ever going to happen.
How long has that been going? Or how long has... Like, when did they stop doing episodes in English?
Like, it was like episode 130 something in English is where it stopped, and there's like... Well, a lot more episodes than that in Japanese. A lot more.
And how long ago was that?
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
Adult Swim used to air Case Closed or Detective Conan, but they stopped, and I think they got to like the 4th season in English episodes or 5th, and after that I don't think they ever did any more in English, because in the US like it didn't do super well, but in Japan it's like one of the most popular animes.
Actually, I kind of like Detective Conan as a detective anime. The problem I have with, like, I actually do have a few problems with not Detective Conan, but Case Closed, but, like, I do have a few problems with it, having only just seen, like, 2 or 3 episodes so far.
And what's that?
But, like, it's a fairly good detective anime. I do like a good detective story, and it does fashion itself after, like, Sherlock Holmes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But my main problem with it is the supernatural elements. The supernatural and the sci-fi elements. that seem to clash with the logical detective elements of like the main anime.
There's not really supernatural elements. There's just sci-fi elements.
Yeah, the fact that like the detective in question is like a 20-something detective guy who got suddenly turned into a kid.
Yeah, but that was from an experimental drug, not magic.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's sci-fi elements then.
Yeah, it's sci-fi
and like
elements.
all of the strange gadgets that he has to suddenly get himself out of trouble whenever trouble arises.
Yeah, that stuff though makes me like think of like kid shows back in.
Oh yeah, you have a good point. Stuff like a puppy named Scooby-Doo or something.
Yeah,
well, maybe
like
not.
There's like kid shows back in like I want to say like the 80s or the 90s where they had the gadgets or whatever, and then they had like their bad guy of the week or whatever.
I mean, the great thing about this though is that the sci-fi elements don't actually get into the logical elements. Like the sci-fi elements are just there to get Detective Conan out of trouble if he gets into trouble, but it doesn't actually like help him solve the mystery.
No, see, he's got the main thing that his gadgets are for are to knock Richard out, to talk with Richard's voice, and he can knock out bad guys with his shoes.
Yes.
And that's all. That's the main ones.
And that works for me because like it helps advance the plot. Like it helps him like get through the plot, but like doesn't help him solve the mystery, and like the mystery itself isn't sci-fi related, which means that any casual audience could easily solve the mystery themselves if they do enough critical thinking.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are pretty fucking convoluted, I won't lie.
Fair point.
Like some of them are pretty fucking convoluted, but for the most part, you're right. For the most part, you could probably solve some of those mysteries before he reveals them. Yeah. I don't think you ever got far enough to see the oh my god.
So far, the most
the Phantom. What is it? Is it the Phantom Thief, or the Phantom? Oh my god.
I think like the two I remember off the top of my head. Like I remember I did see 3 episodes, but I only really remember 2 of them, at least in terms of the mystery. And that was like the one where the victim was killed beforehand and then stashed in his car, and then the car's like heater was turned on so that rigor mortis would set in faster and like cause it to look like he drove his car off a cliff.
Oh, that was the Sherlock Holmes one where the guy was murdered because the book nerd was like, "How dare you make fun of Irene Adler and Sherlock?" And it's like, God, you're taking your fandom way too seriously.
And then there was also the one where like it was that artist guy who like actually wasn't that great of an artist and had someone else do the art for him. And like when she was about to expose him as a fraud, he like kills her and then like sets up some elaborate contraption so it looks like she jumped off a building.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them like that.
Those were somewhat convoluted, but it did make sense in the end.
There was one where he had to let Richard actually solve one of the mysteries on his own. And that was pretty amusing. Luckily, it was one of the easier ones. Because basically what ended up happening was there was like these 2 balconies on these 2 buildings, and the guy who was the murderer stood on one end of the stood on one balcony on the other building and like tied like a big ass fucking like rock or something, I don't remember exactly what, to his fishing pole. It was just like boom, and like whacked that guy straight in the head with it, and then reeled it back when he was done.
Interesting murder method, but
and so like for some reason he wasn't able to like be able to like knock Richard out, so he had to let Richard solve that one. And then like he was basically giving him hints, but in a way where he wasn't being obvious about it. Yeah. And then he was just like, man, I hope Richard's not as dumb as he usually is.
Man, this kid's much smarter than he usually is.
This Jackie Chun guy looks very familiar. If only I were smarter.
I love anime. Anime's got some of the best like stories ever.
So, hastily transitioning away from anime, Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Spyro's coming back!
Yep.
He never actually left, but we pretend that Skylanders never happened because, my God, have you seen that monstrosity?
So it does remind me, though, I do want to get the...
This reminds me of an amusing anecdote.
At some point, and this is a really hard to find trilogy, but like, what was it? The Hero, or no, not the, or was it? The one Spyro. Well, I'm not sure if it like has an official name, but I like to call it the Elijah Wood trilogy, because it's like the trilogy of Spyro games where Spyro's voiced by Elijah Wood.
Spyro was at one point voiced by Elijah Wood?
Yes. It was like this trilogy of... It was this trilogy... The first 2 games are on the PS2. The third game's on the PS3. But, like, the first 2 games never got, like, a PS3 port. The PS3 game never got, like, a PS2 release. At least not a good one. But, yeah, it was basically this series that, like, took Spyro down, like, a much more serious turn. And so Spyro was voiced by fucking Frodo Baggins.
Nice. So there's already ads on YouTube, by the way, for the Spyro trilogy.
Yeah.
And I was like, but the game's not even coming out till like September. Why are they doing ads now?
That is a good question, I guess. Maybe to generate hype because, like, it's already knowledge.
I think it's just because they announced it. Right now they're like, this is probably like the equivalent of like the trailer.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh man, speaking of which, I've noticed that the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane trilogy just got like 2 updates since the announcement of the Spyro like trilogy thing. And like that is suspicious to me. Like I'm not sure what these updates are, what they're for. I tried putting in the Spyro demo code from Crash Bandicoot 3, but that didn't do anything. But I'm sure that's going to be in like one of the updates, is that there's going to be a demo for the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
We'll see.
At least that's what I'd do anyway.
That'd be a cool idea, actually, but who knows, man? Who knows?
The world may never know.
You're just playing with that audio-visual thing, aren't you?
Maybe. Oh, did you see that there's going to be an American version of Doctor Who now?
There's going to be an American version.
And guess who the first Doctor's going to be?
Who?
Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
It's seriously going to be fucking
I saw it on Facebook and I was like, what is happening?
There's going to be
crap, what was that guy's name now?
Is it Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The first Doctor is going to be Bruce frickin' Campbell.
Which already tells you it's going to be nothing like it's going to be more Americanized. I mean, to be fair, at least there's less of a chance that there'll be dinosaurs in space.
That's a good point.
But it does probably mean that it's going to be less intelligent and more beat things up focused because it's Americanized.
Yeah.
He'll probably have a gun instead of a screwdriver now.
Yeah. Despite the fact that the Doctor's one thing is that he never kills people unless he absolutely 100% needs to.
This is the American version. He kills everybody and asks questions later.
Actually, like, I've never actually gotten into Doctor Who, but I do remember seeing one episode of Doctor Who where like his like TARDIS comes off into this like giant spaceship, and it's apparently like the space cruise ship called the Titanic. And like most of the episode, he keeps going around, like going to people and being like, "You do know the original Titanic sank, right?"
So like, my introduction to Doctor Who was dinosaurs in space, and I was like, "That's weird. I don't know how seriously I can take this show." Then my second time watching Doctor Who, a disease spread among people that caused them to grow gas masks on their face. And I was like, well, I'm officially done. I tried.
Are you my daddy?
I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening here, but I tried. I gave you a fair shot, and this is too stupid for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they did explain it in a way that makes sense, But at the same time, it was really stupid.
Yeah.
I want to know what the fuck is like going on in the heads of the people who write Doctor Who episodes, because they're fucking weird. They're weird. But then again, I guess British humor has always been weird anyways, so maybe it's the same with their dramas and their sci-fi. You know what show from the UK was actually not bad, though? I only watched a couple episodes of it, but it was called Luther.
Luther. I think I remember that one.
It was like a crime drama, and it had this like black guy who was this cop, and he did cop things, and it was actually pretty decent.
He did cop things.
Well, I mean, if you've seen a cop show before in your life, you've seen this show. It's not like it broke any new boundaries or anything. It was just it executed what it was doing really well.
I like, though, the fact that you just had to specify on he did cop things.
He did cop things. That's what he did. It wasn't bad, though. It was actually pretty decent. It was well written. I wasn't bored watching it, which is pretty rare for a lot of shows.
Or were you? Dun, dun, dun.
My grandma was really into that show. My grandma liked a lot of BBC shows, actually. Is it weird that we get BBC in America, since that's like British broadcasting?
Yeah, considering how many people in America are huge fans of British works, I'm not surprised.
But that, like, the BBC is literally like funded and operated by the British government, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we also get a bunch of Latin American television channels. But that's probably just
the closer you live to the border, the more Mexican TV you get.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why in King of the Hill, they have that show they always watch is like Spanish. Everyone speaks Spanish in it. Yeah, the whatever with the Catholic priest guy, and then he's shooting everybody. I don't remember what it's called. It's kind of like the Simpsons thing, where they have the Arnold movies that are always playing like the TV. In King of the Hill, they have this one with this like Catholic priest guy who shoots everybody, but he's like always speaking in Spanish because he's like, it's like a Mexican show or like a show from Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, but they're just getting it because they live in Texas, and it's like right next to the border.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And like Peggy watches all the time. There was even an episode towards like the later seasons where she meets the guy who's in it, and she like stays with him for some reason. But
I remember that one.
And does he try to hit on her? Is that what happens?
No, what happens is
else?
like she thinks he's hitting on her, and she's like, "Wait, don't you have a wife?" And he's like, "No, she's with her ancestors now." And like she thinks that he's saying that she's dead, but then it turns out that she was just visiting her family. And he didn't know how to properly express that in English.
Oh, yeah. I remember there's something to it. I just remember there's an episode where she actually met him or whatever. I think, actually, when it comes to King of the Hill, Peggy has the best written dialogue, even though she's one of the most insufferable characters. Because with everyone else's character is, like, really straightforward. Like, Hank is just the straight man guy. And Dale's like crazy, and
the
Bill's
straight man guy.
Well, I mean, he's like the straight man of the group or whatever.
Whoa!
He's like serious. He's like focused. He's like, when he says he's gonna do shit, that's exactly what he's gonna do. And he's not crazy or anything. And he doesn't put up with people's shit. He's like the straight man. But like all of the other characters are like pretty straightforward with who they are or what they're doing. But like Peggy has like this ego about her, like, you know what I mean? She's like always like thinks she's greater than she really is. So like if you pay attention to her dialogue, they always write these subtle like little lines for her that like feed into her ego.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like somebody has to take the time and like carefully write her dialogue for it to come out the way it does. Because like she has these like little subtle like jabs that you'd easily miss if you weren't paying attention. Like sometimes she like do a jab at other people, and sometimes she'll just like say something about how great she is, but like in this kind of like undertone way, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. A subtle.
I think I understand. Yeah.
I don't know. Just the next time you're watching an episode of King of the Hill, like pay close attention to the way Peggy talks. Because I feel like whoever writes her dialogue must have to spend a lot of fucking time on it. Even though she's kind of an insufferable character in a lot of regards. Yeah. Just because she's such an egomaniac. But anyways, don't know how we wound up here.
But enough about my balls.
See, like, once we get going, it's not too hard. It's just the getting going part that's hard.
Once it gets chugging along, it won't
stop. Chugga, fuck you!
Fuck you, man!
Fuck you, man!
I don't think that's how that goes.
Hey, could you turn on the TV? No. Fuck you!
Oh no, they're stealing that TV. Hey, fuck you!
What?
Well, strangely compelling.
That's a strangely compelling argument.
What?
Oh my god, I've shown you. I know I've shown you that before. It might have been like when we first moved in.
Yeah.
But I showed you the If You Could Be a Superhero song, right?
You showed me it, yeah.
That's where Fuck You Man comes from. And they're like stealing the TV and he comes down and like he's like, fuck you! And then the two robber guys are like, strangely compelling.
His power is his profanity.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's, there's Pussy Man, Immigration Dude, Drug Free Boy.
Valiant Man.
Valiant Man. Or is...
It was
like Valtrex, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
because
Valtrex.
It was like a herpes medicine or something.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've listened to it.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since I was relevant in music. It's been a while.
Oh my god.
Who was that again? Is that Shinedown?
And no one here remembers.
Was that Shinedown? No.
No, God, that's way before Shinedown. That was, oh my God. Who was that? That was like around Creed time, but I don't think it was Creed.
Nah.
Maybe it was Stained? It might have been Stained.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, fuck. That's gonna drive me crazy till I look it up later.
Why wait?
It's been a while since anyone bought our albums. It's been a while.
Alright, let's... Oh, gosh.
It's a good thing I can't sing, so I hope I broke everyone's eardrums and made them die of my horrible singing voice.
All those poor people.
Like, at least if...
Yes, it is Stained.
At least if it had been Anthony, it would have sounded good, but it was
been
me.
A while.
But I can't sing, so it was probably horrible.
Did I mention in the last one that Rick Astley's still doing music?
Ah, you just reminded me.
What?
I was thinking about this the other day, and if for Halloween you ever were to go as Rick Astley, you could pull it off.
I could.
Like, I can imagine you in, like, his trench coat from the whatever video.
From Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah. I could totally see it in my head and it would work 100%. And you could just go everywhere and be like, oh shit, what is it? Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Funny thing is, when he pretty much like gave his audition to like the record companies, like he sent in his audition tape. They initially rejected it because they could not believe that his voice was coming out of his body, so he had to like go and audition in person.
I believe it because he looks 12 and he sings like he's 40.
Yes. And now he's 50 and he looks like he's 30 and he still sings like he's 40.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Ain't nothing but a G thing.
Well, hey, I mean, it probably is a good thing when you're 50 and you still look sexy.
You're just saying that because you like his songs about animals.
That's a good point.
This song makes no sense, but at least it's about animals.
Yes. Speaking of animals, Nickelback.
Oh my gosh, please, no.
No.
There ain't nothing wrong with it, just acting like we're animals.
See, I actually don't like a lot of Nickelback songs, but I do admit that Animals, like, definitely emulates that sound that I would call pure rock.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with it. Oh no, you know what song of theirs is pure rock, actually?
What's that?
Oh my god, what is it? What is it called? It's the one where everyone's trying to hit on his girlfriend and he has to kick their ass.
Huh.
Oh my god, what the fuck is that song called? But I can't think of it. It's gonna drive me crazy again.
Nickel...
Type in like my girlfriend or something.
Oh. Actually, yeah, here we are.
Bad
next
girlfriend.
contestant.
Here comes the next contestant.
Oh no, the song I was thinking of was
Your
Fear of the Dead Man.
On my girlfriend. Yeah, that's the one.
I was thinking of Bad Girlfriend by
Permission to pause the recording so I can listen to this?
No.
Can we pause it and then start it again?
Yes, right from where we paused it.
Okay, then do it.
And we're back.
Welcome back to me.
It's like we never left.
Were we really ever gone?
Were we ever even here to begin with?
Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Caught in a landslide.
No escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies, and see. Dude, you just plagiarized Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, that was actually a plot point in like the Dinotopia movie. Is that like at one point like everyone has to write an essay about life or something or some bullshit like that, and like one of the characters manages to like just plagiarize the entirety of Bohemian Rhapsody, and it works because everyone on the island like hasn't seen civilization since the 40s.
Nice. Well, I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Who knows?
And then, like, the guy who came in with him was all like, dude, you can't just plagiarize like that. And he's just like, I kind of just did.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if it works, it works. Oh, man. I need to stop doing that.
What?
Man. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Do the Bartman.
Do the Bartman?
Yeah, do the Bartman.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side.
Why are you a pirate?
I'm Captain Lou Albano.
I really don't even want to know.
The funny thing is, he identified that as a pirate voice, and the guy who plays Mario actually was in the WWF at one point as Captain Lou Albano.
Sure was nice of Spencer to invite us to his mansion, hey Luigi?
What?
I hope he made lots of T-virus.
What? What?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that meme.
Oh god, why?
Welcome to the meme world, kids.
Welcome to the Meme Cast.
It's a meme world out there.
Where we laugh at entirely visual memes that like we won't be able to show on camera because we keep forgetting what the meme was.
We forgot about the meme. We didn't meme to, but we did.
We didn't start the meme. It was always burning since the moment we'd begun.
We didn't start the memeing. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
That was the lyrics.
That was lyrics to a song. I hope you like my terrible singing, because I sure don't.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. Now try to do the verse.
Superman.
Well, you know,
Gray and Gandalf the White and Monty Python and the Holy Grail's Black Knight and Benito Mussolini and the Blue Meanie and Cowboy Curtis and John B. the Genie, RoboCop, Terminator,
every single Power Ranger, Theodore and Theodore Logan, Rock the Spock, Doc Ock, and Hulk Hogan all came out of nowhere lightning fast, and they kicked Chuck Norris and his cowboy ass.
It's the
end of the world as we.
Welcome to Drunkcast, where I've only had one beer.
I'm on my third drink, my friends.
I'm wondering if I should have another beer, but I probably shouldn't.
this is why I have a juice box.
This is why he gets a juice box in the image, and I get a man's drink.
Yes.
And by a man's drink, I mean a fruity girly drink, because these are fucking tasty.
And I get a woman's drink, coffee.
Coffee.
Do you like real coffee
From the hills of Colombia. Crocodiles awaken you. From 1,000 deaths. A cup of mud. Die. I'm dying for a cup. Now scream for your cream. I can't do like metal voice at all, so it probably sounds fucking terrible.
Let the boys in the floor. Let the boys in the floor. Let the boys in the floor.
Why are you burping?
I don't know what that was. I think you just invented the next genre of metal.
I call it burp metal.
Burp
metal. As long as it doesn't turn into burp metal.
Into burnt metal?
Hey, you burp.
I actually saw...
Oh my gosh.
Hey, we don't need to play like obnoxiously loud music to make everyone deaf. You just need to make me laugh a lot.
You know, I'm now imagining Ernie on the guitar and Bert doing the lyrics.
Oh my god, you're fucking destroyed.
This is better than pot.
Oh, my face hurts. I need oxygen. Quick, give me an O2 mask.
My laughter can cure cancer.
We'll get space.
It cures cancer as well as Lex Luthor whenever he needs to kill Superman.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I remember that.
When you're so determined to kill Superman that you cure cancer.
Yeah, Lex Luthor once cured cancer in order to gain the trust of Superman, just so he could stab him in the back and kill him.
No, he does like he like straps him to this medical device because Superman trusts him, and then like lasers him with like fucking kryptonite.
Oh. Like it just goes to show like who the fuck just casually cures cancer to kill their rival?
Yeah, it says a lot about how much of a fucking dick he is, that he could have cured cancer whenever the fuck he wanted, but he just didn't want to. He could have cured it like a Saturday. Like he could have just like taken one Saturday out to cure cancer.
This
but he
day,
didn't.
I feel like curing cancer. Next week, world hunger. But nah, we're gonna kill Superman.
Nah, I'd rather kill Superman. He's a dick.
You can cure cancer, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to kill Superman.
I just want to make people into dinosaurs.
Welcome to the Shoutcast, where we just shout as loud as possible into the microphone so that everyone gets deaf. I'm gonna try one of those taffies.
Throw me a taffy. Oh, good. I I have hand-eye coordination, which I wasn't expecting.
You have hand-eye coordination.
To be honest, like as that taffy was sailing through the air, I was just like, wait. Blake is drunk. This probably wasn't the best idea, but then you caught it, and I'm like, oh.
Because I'm a fucking boss. Grab my drink like a boss. Drink my drink like a boss. Eat a taffy like a boss.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Like a boss?
So, you sucked your own dick? Like a boss.
Nah, man, that ain't.
No, that's right. I'm getting the parts mixed up. It's the other part where he says that, isn't it? It's the first thing he says, and the second thing he's like, can you suck your own dick? He's like, no, that ain't me.
So, you crashed into the sun and died. Yeah, man. And I believe you also said you sucked somebody's dick. Nah, that ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what you said. That ain't me.
He sucked his own dick and then sucked a fish guy's dick.
Met a giant fish like a boss. Fucked his brains out like a boss. Turned into a jet like a boss. Bombed the Russians.
Like a boss.
Fly into the sun.
Like a boss.
Now I'm dead.
Like a boss.
Why?
We gotta do like a full cover of that song now.
No, we don't.
Who gets to say like a boss? Like a boss.
Like a boss.
My favorite one is not even like all that popular, I don't think, and that's the Boombox one.
Oh yeah, the boombox.
I fucking love the Boombox one. That one cracks me up every time.
What happened next was a total disgrace.
Everyone started having sex. It was a bunch of old white people fucking.
The boombox is not a toy.
A boombox can change the world, but you gotta know your limits with a boombox. This was a cautionary tale. A boombox is not a toy. Oh man, this has been a very musical podcast. Like,
Just in the
I'm
last
drunk
2 minutes.
enough to sing, and that's all that fucking matters.
You're drunk enough to sing. Not drunk enough to sing well, but drunk enough to sing.
I mean, like, since it's been a while.
Drunk enough to sing. Drunk enough to sing.
At least since we started talking about Stained, we've been singing on and off.
Yeah.
Have we now?
Yeah.
Have we really?
Really. Isn't that in Shrek? Yeah, the really thing is in Shrek.
Really.
Really. That was a terrible Shrek accent. If I'm not singing, I'm criticizing my own vocal talents. I mean, my lack of vocal talents.
I tend to do the same thing.
I've been meaning to actually look up and see if there were tutorials online for how to do, like, Ocelot and Snake. And maybe if I feel like
pretty good. Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss.
But yeah, I've been meaning forever to look up and see if there are like online tutorials where like they show you how to do the voice so that I can practice for, you know, the secret things that we're secretly working on for the future.
Yes.
Vocal training.
Yeah, vocal training. I gotta vocally train for the vocal cord parasites so that they can kill me better.
Oh god. Fucking vocal cord parasites, man.
The vocal cord parasites. I gotta learn to do that guy's voice too.
I am in debate as to whether we should just like, for the sake of sanity, drop the whole like need to not wear clothes thing, or for the sake of increased insanity, enforce the no clothes rule on everyone who has that specific thing.
Okay, pause this again really quick. I want to tell you something. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
god!
The audience is now deaf.
See, they made a mistake. They should have hired us, not Donna Burke. Oh, we're clearly the superior vocalists.
Oh.
Ooh, oh.
Words that kill. Won't you speak them to me? With your breath so still, it makes me believe in the Father's sins. Let me speak them now. I'm alive.
You're the most amazing vocalist I've ever met.
You two are never singing on this podcast ever again.
Only if I'm singing right.
This is the greatest vocalist ever born, Ralleign Siston. More than enough to woo any fur that moves.
With darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart. But you're so supreme. I give my life. Not for honor, but for you.
You went the whole way just to fuck. The amount of dedication.
Our audience will never hear again.
Oh my god.
They'll never show up again.
What's great about it is
They'll
that
never
the
come
rest
back.
of it sounds really good, and then you just bam hit them with that at the end. Hit them with the blah blah at the end there.
What the?
Exactly, you got it.
This is the deaf stream. This is the stream
Oh
where
my
everyone
God.
is deaf.
This is the podcast that's gonna win us a stream, even though we're definitely not in the competition there.
Yeah.
Now we'll get a cast. We'll get a casting.
We'll get a please God stop making videos.
We can't. They can't give us a cease and desist order, but they can give us a please stop making videos order.
Please God, just no.
Please
stop
give up your YouTube career and just be farmers.
it. Oh man,
You see, I'll take that deal as long as you pay me.
Yeah.
you're gonna have to pay us.
They will pay us to not make videos.
You are paying me for protection,
You give us the money.
not to protect your life, but to protect your consumers
Protect
from
your
this
consumers'
god awful
eardrums.
noise.
You give us the money. We stop making no videos. That's how this works. You see? Yeah, see?
Jeez, how much grenadine did you put into that thing?
Enough.
His
drink is like-
put in grenadine.
His drink is like 100% red.
I'm trying to figure out how much I put in there to make it orange.
I missed.
But like with
Damn.
every good thing, it's an experiment.
Well, let's see. Anything else to talk about?
If you're gonna be like the main character of my book, you've got to experiment with your herbal mixtures to make the fire ward.
And then jump into a bonfire.
Hey, that was... Okay, to be fair to her, she starts by putting it on a stick and setting the stick in the candle. And when the stick doesn't burn, she's like, alright, now to try the finger. And she tries the finger in the candle. Then she jumps in the bonfire.
Okay.
There's a step in between, but it's so inconsequential that it's still a massive jump to go straight to bonfire from there.
What's the step in between?
I think she like uses her hand or something in the candle.
Oh yeah. Let's put a stick in the candle. Okay, that didn't burn. Let's try my finger. Okay, doesn't hurt. How about my hand? Okay, that doesn't hurt. Let's just jump straight in.
Yeah, she literally steps into a bonfire for a couple seconds to see if her fire ward actually works.
Luckily, it did.
Yeah, lucky for her. That would have been a really bad day if it hadn't.
This feels really warm.
Oh,
I
man.
do believe I am on fire.
I do believe I am fire.
My flesh is burning. I believe my eyes melted right out of my skull. That's probably not a good sign.
Probably not a good sign.
Speaking of which, talking about eyeballs melting out of skulls, have you seen the Cyanide and Happiness video Speed Racist?
I have.
Because that one's fucking hilarious.
Go back to Africa!
He immediately crashes. And then it's just like it's like a couple minutes of him just like screaming in agony about how his flesh is melting. No, Chimp, go!
Hey Mizu, are you ever going to finish this?
It's from like yesterday.
It's from yesterday. So probably not.
It's been from yesterday and it hasn't been thrown away. You should throw it away.
I just want this cheese stick.
I almost finished it. Started to feel funny. Put it down for a moment. Rolled over in the floor and fell asleep.
Never mind then.
That's not healthy for you. You shouldn't eat that.
Yeah, probably not. It probably should have been put into...
If it had been put in the fridge, that would be one thing, but just leaving it sitting out.
Speaking of stuff in the fridge, you still have that barbecue chicken pizza in the fridge.
Yep.
He'll never eat it.
Yeah, eventually I'm just going to eat it if like it stays in the fridge for like another week.
Just eat it. He's not going to. You already know he's not.
I already ate half of it.
He's not gonna eat it. Eat it. When it gets cold, he won't reheat it.
I already ate half of it and I reheated it. So that makes no sense.
Eat it.
So, let's see, anything else to talk about at the moment?
I don't fucking know. I am just saying words. And I pretty much, my plan is once we're done with this, it's time for Black.
Yep.
For Black?
Black.
We'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes, or we'll just watch Black for a little bit, and then I'll take Mizu to that place that I'm going to censor out now because I just blurted out the name of the place.
Do the place
But
where we all
Time
dream.
to do a place. Time to do a place.
I'm so fucking tough. I'm so fucking tough. That's right. You punch me, break fingers.
But yes, I'm gonna take Mizu to that place that I need to take him to so that he can get a job.
Take me to the place. Take me to the place.
Take it to the place. Take it to the place.
See, Mizu has like Mizu has the kind of hair now that like he can totally do the headbang thing now, and I can't because
I'm so fucking tough. I'm so fucking tough. That's right.
Okay, Blake definitely has that kind of hair.
I remember the
The
days
funny thing is, like
I can even
that,
do this one.
I remember the days I had that kind of hair.
You kind of look like a glam rock artist or something.
Ooh,
I don't
that
know,
was a
is
mistake.
Oh yeah. When you're drunk like that, I probably shouldn't have goaded you into doing that.
Okay, don't do the windmill when you've had a few drinks. I took it. Like, whenever you were like a little kid and you get on the the one that goes in the circle.
The little cup thing with the steering
No,
wheel
not the
and the
cup
spin.
thing. The
whirly-go-round.
the whirly-go-round one. Though. It just goes in a circle. That's all it does, and you hold on.
Like, the merry-go-round and the
Whatever.
and the playground.
Like whenever you first step off it and you're like slightly disoriented. Like that's how I felt from doing 2 seconds of the windmill, like with my incredibly beautiful and gorgeous hair.
See, back then, like anytime I got in one of those
The
things,
headbanging was fine. It was when I actually spun my head in a circle that all of a sudden I started to feel disoriented.
See, back then, like I used to like get on those things and just like keep spinning until I threw up.
That and everyone tried to do the thing where they'd spin as fast as they could and everyone would like try to hold on or whatever.
Yeah.
And you try to like throw everybody off because,
Faster!
Someone had told us to all sit on it, so that way that didn't happen. I decided to stand up on the sucker, and I was thrown into the chain link fence.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But yeah, like That used to be like one of the games you'd play on. It is like everyone would hang on, and then whoever was spinning it would try to spin it as hard as they could, and, like knock people off or whatever.
Reminds me of that one scene from Spy Kids where like they have like a full-on fight scene on one of those things that's like spinning like a fucking jet turbine.
Do you think God stays in heaven, for he too fears what he created?
That one time that Spy Kids was fucking philosophical.
They didn't even mean to be. It was like a throwaway line, but it was like everyone like was like, "Holy shit!" I used oh my god, what was that? I was on Facebook the other day and somebody like posted this thing about like, I think it was like one of the baby furs being like weird or something. I don't remember the specifics, but I commented on it with like that quote about God or whatever. With is it Steve Buscemi, I think?
It is Steve Buscemi, yes.
Yeah, but like I had him and I said Steve Buscemi and I had like that line in quotes. And I posted it on the comment because it was so fucking cringeworthy. It was something. I swear it was something about baby furs being, well, you know.
Baby Vorscat party.
What?
Not that bad, but pretty bad.
It was an old joke that Uncle Kage used to tell at cons.
Speaking of which, did you hear about the furry convention that just happened recently?
What happened with that?
There might have been two people like doing the fuck in the middle of the convention floor.
I remember that. Like two people just like on the convention floor just like threw down.
Yeah.
And like there was this one.
Apparently they weren't furries necessarily though. They were like pup play people or whatever. Which whatever. But my favorite thing about the whole thing is there's this image that went around and it's this picture that got taken and you see this one guy in a fursuit standing there looking at the two guys doing it. And then somebody like next to it, somebody drew a picture and it's like whoever that fursuiter was drawn as a furry and he's like crying and holding a bowl of salad and like you see like their legs or whatever and he's like, not at my convention.
I did see that picture.
Oh my god, it cracked me up so much when I saw it. It was the funniest shit. You're gonna have to put that up now, by the way, or I'm going to, whoever.
As soon as I can find it.
But yeah, like
I was thinking that had something to do with like the Burger King foot lettuce. Because it was salad and there was like feet everywhere.
No, there was like there's these two dudes like fucking at the convention or whatever. All nasty like. Because fucking people are gross. Like, there's always got to be, like, some assholes who ruin it for everybody else, basically.
Yeah.
And they start a bunch of shit and then get everyone else kicked out because they're fucking douche fucks.
Douche fucks?
Exactly.
Sometimes they do it on purpose, which is even worse. Speaking of which, I need to see when registration for MFF starts.
Last time it was like, what, in May or June or something?
I think it was like April or May or something last year.
It was pretty early. I mean, we're probably not going to get the main hotel because last time that sold out in like fucking 12 minutes. Like as soon as they announced...
hotel we were in last time.
Well, we weren't in the main hotel. We were in the
we were in the A-Loft.
Yeah, I know. That's
which I like
the hotel we got last time.
Yeah, I like the A-Loft. That one, I don't mind the walk. I don't mind the walk through the Metal Gear Solid 4 microwave.
To the Metal Gear Solid 4 microwave.
I was even thinking like that.
For our thing that we're working on, it would be kind of funny to film that there, though, one of these years. I mean, it's gonna be a while before we get to Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, I get what the microwave is now.
Yeah, but if we get there, whenever we go to MFF, that's where we should film that part, and just like. We'll have to find a way to clear out one hallway for like long enough to film it, though.
Yeah, I think it would actually even be funnier, like if we just have like the people watching us.
Yeah, people are just walking through. Luckily, we can talk about this because it'll literally be probably years before we get that far.
Yeah, and by then people will have forgotten. Yeah. But then again, this is the internet, and people never forget minor details on the internet.
Well, that'll make it better because there'll be like 4 people who remember whenever we get to Metal Gear Solid 4 and they'll be hyped as shit about it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, he's finally going to do the thing.
I'm thinking like, if we ever do open up a Patreon, it will be for that one project.
No, I feel like we're eventually, like, I want to eventually open up a Patreon because I want to be able to have the freedom to, like, be more creative or whatever.
Yeah.
And with, I mean, you've seen the state of YouTube lately.
Yeah.
It's a fucking mess. I think we're going to have no choice but to open a Patreon to make enough to, whatever. But, like, right now, we're at a point where we're not making anything, and I don't think we're going to make anything for a long time.
Yep.
Like
no.
I'm not even going to consider opening, like, a Patreon or anything until we're at least at 1,000 subscribers. But, I mean, I don't even know if I'll open it then yet. But that's at the very least. Like, I'm not even going to start considering it until we hit that point. And we're at, like, 29, I think.
Yeah.
29, 30, something like that.
Woo!
So, I mean, we're a good deal away from Patreon stuff.
Yep.
But once we get there, there's going to be some things to do. We need a goal for this year. We need a subscriber goal for this year to hit.
50.
50 is... We'll hit 50 before the end of this year, I'd hope.
Shh.
We hit 30 in the few months that we're running.
I have low self-esteem. We're going to make it to 50.
We're already at 30. We're already over halfway there.
So how about 80? Our current subscriber count plus 50.
At least make it a number we can get to, please.
I wanted to make it 100 because that's you can. I think at 100 is when you can make a custom URL for your YouTube channel, if I remember correctly.
Nice. Like buttsex.info.
No, that's
Oh my gosh.
That's a whole other thing. That's like web domains. I'm talking about like youtube.com/ whatever your channel name is, like custom URL or whatever.
Up for Talk Gaming.
Like, we can't do that until we hit 100, I think.
That's a good point, yeah.
So I was pretty much figuring our goal for this year should be to get to that point. And if we hit it early, I doubt we will, but you never know. I think if we start commissioning thumbnails, I think we might actually be able to get there. Because I feel like one of our big issues is that I'm fucking terrible at making thumbnails. But if we start commissioning like custom art for each game we're playing, that might help.
Yes. I feel like at some point, like, once we have enough money for it, we should probably, like, open up a patent on, like, RisenPaw Entertainment or whatever. Just so that, like, no one can, like, copyright claim someone else, like, using our videos. Like, because I want people to be able to, like, freely use our videos for, like, their own original content. And, like, I don't want people to, like, just copyright claim them for doing that.
Well, there's nothing you can do to stop that because everyone gets copyright claimed for every bullshit. Every Bolshevik.
Every Bolshevik.
Every bit of Bolshevik.
Bolshevik.
Shik the Vic, bitch. Damn, we've been going for like an hour and a half now.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Hour and a half.
That's right.
Oh man,
Well,
you think they're gonna do more Bat Metals, or was that one we just watched the last?
Yeah, they
one?
might.
Like, that's what that guy's known for at this point. He's done 3 so far. You think? I wonder if he's gonna do another one because there's only so many Death Clock songs.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him branch out into other things because he has a really good animation style. I bet he could make I would like to see him branch out and do like an actual show, even though there's clearly a language barrier there. I learned in the last video.
More of an accent barrier.
Hi, Barbara. Nice to see you back. I mean, back. Damn it. That was actually a pretty decent joke. The whole language thing actually made it funnier. You think they were referencing the Killing Joke whenever they said the thing about Barbara?
The thing about Barbara? Oh.
Yeah.
That's sort of been a thing in the comics anyway.
Well, I meant in the Bat Metal video, he's like, if you talk to Barbara, or what does he say? He's like, He's like, are you sure she'd be okay with that for what he did to Barbara or something? And then Batman's like, I already talked to Barbara. I assume he must be talking about the Killing Joke, because, but then at the same time she's walking, so that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. Oh, well. Who cares?
I don't care.
Lex Luthor fixed her leg so that we could kill Superman.
Exactly.
We've solved the problem.
I mean, they cured Jason Todd of death, so why can't they cure her legs?
They cured death.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Superman punched reality really hard, and that brought Jason Todd back to life.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Superman punched reality so hard that he retconned everything.
Yeah. To be fair, he didn't just...
Prime punched reality so hard it retconned everything.
Yeah.
Whatever. One of the Superman versions punched reality so hard that the entire DC continuity got retconned. Yeah. And that brought Jason Todd back to life, I guess. Imagine, like, punching reality so hard that you retcon the entire universe.
How do you even punch reality?
By being really fucking strong.
By being a Kryptonian.
By being Superman. Specifically Superman. No other Kryptonian can do this, apparently.
Except for Superboy Prime.
Also, another thing to consider... Superman's home planet, right, Krypton? Why did they not... Like, because they were a super, like, technologically advanced civilization, right?
Yeah.
So why did they not live next to a yellow sun so that they were all really strong and would be able to fight off any threats to them?
So I don't think they knew that they had these abilities.
Yeah, but they were a super advanced civilization. How would they not know? Like, they had technology that makes our technology look stupid.
Maybe they were just too moral to try human experimentation with different types of radiation against the...
No, there's no way they didn't know that yellow sun equaled really strong. There's no way. Like, they just chose willingly to live somewhere where they weren't very strong. Because apparently they're stupid for being super advanced. Like, there should have been a whole planet of Supermans. Is what should have been the reality. Like, in a real situation where that would have occurred, there would have been just a whole planet of Superman. Imagine like a bar fight breaks out amongst a bunch of like regular Supermans. Cause like, for them to have a bar fight, they'd be regularly smashing reality, like, constantly.
Every bar fight would be Goku versus Beerus.
Exactly.
Oh no, that doesn't just crash reality. That could have destroyed the universe.
They retcon their own universe every time they have a bar fight.
Yeah. They keep retconning the universe so that they don't have the bar fight.
They call it the time loop because they keep retconning the universe before the bar fight, but then that leads back to the bar fight, which causes them to go backwards. Superman's powers are so fucking broken when you like actually stop and think about the implications of his powers.
One person even pointed out, I think it was like the Nostalgia Critic or something, but like one person pointed out that like at one point in one of the Superman films, like Superman kisses Lois Lane and like he kisses her so that he can like give her amnesia and forget that he's actually Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And like and I think like the Nostalgia Critic pointed out that like he totally should have just like at some point just leaned in, macked Lex Luthor on the lips and be all like, "You're not evil."
Well, I mean, apparently the reason that nobody knows that Clark Kent is Superman is because Superman has mild hypnotic abilities and he just hypnotizes everyone into not noticing whenever he's walking around as Clark Kent.
What?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
That's how they explain it, even though his disguise is really fucking obvious and it's very clearly Superman.
It's just Superman with glasses.
You know, I'm pretty sure that there's like an episode which Superman and Batman end up working together to stop Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah,
the
that
Joker.
one.
And Batman easily deduces that Clark Kent is Superman.
Yeah, it was like that one episode where like they have to go undercover, but then everyone's like, "Wait, but then won't we all know each other's secret identities? Then Bruce Wayne's just like, okay, Clark Kent, that guy, Bruce Wayne.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Batman's the smartest one. And, like, he's actually a detective. They don't focus on it as much as they used to, but whenever Batman first started, his main thing was, like, being a detective.
Yeah, and not punching people.
He was, like, super smart or whatever.
Yeah, but I feel like the one thing that the hypnosis would do would be fuck up Batman's ability to actually deduce that Clark Kent is Superman.
No, Batman's just too smart to be... Like, the hypnotic ability works on Batman, but he's just so smart that he figured it out anyway.
Also, did you use the rest of my Mountain Dew?
He might have.
Damn it.
Well, you used a bunch of his, sweet and sour stuff.
And my grenadine. My sweet, sweet grenadine.
Yes, but you still have an ass ton of that.
And I bought 2 liters of Mountain Dew, so whenever this one's out, there's more. You stupid cunt.
I didn't even notice that you got more Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I decided to use Mountain Dew instead of Sprite this time because fuck the rules. Does this not look like a beautiful drink?
Nice and yellow with green at the top. Pink, red at the
This is
bottom.
what it was supposed to look like in the picture, by the way. I've never actually gotten it to look that way until I used an actual green drink, so...
You know, that Blood of the Ancients has pretty much become your signature drink right now.
Well, it's because I don't know how to make any other drinks, and I don't want to waste the money.
Other ones.
It's like me with my cup noodles.
Yeah.
You really should branch out and eat more.
I need to...
Fuck you.
Whenever we get back into Christmas time, again, I have a few ideas. Actually,
Like a Christmas themed one?
yeah, like mint flavored drinks, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mint flavored drinks. I saw a few recipes for some. I need to get those sausage links out of the freezer and like thaw them out so that I can start trying to make pancake wraps myself, which is what I'm experimenting on food wise for the day. That was the thing I wanted at Walmart. I wanted to get jars, like the little glass jars or whatever, so that we could make those cupcake things.
Cupcake thing? Oh, yes, that's right.
That's the thing I wanted to get at Walmart that I forgot. I also need to get a glass nail file.
A glass nail file?
Apparently the best kind of nail file, according to all the girl nail videos, is a glass nail file. I don't know what the difference is, but that's the one to go for.
The world may never know.
Wow, 1 hour and 40 minutes. I think it might be time to wrap this biatch up, bitch.
Time to wrap this up.
Okay, so this has been Fur Talk Podcast. I am Blake Foxx.
I am Ralleign Siston.
Well.
Today, Ivan, I will shoot you. Well, Dimitri, I dare say this is quite a turn of events. Yes, Ivan.
In Soviet Russia, podcast watch you.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.